Hi, this is Michael Williams, and in this video I'm going to be showing you a tutorial of MultiSelect in ThinkCrew. Selecting strips is a pretty core behavior in ThinkCrew. All you need to do is click on any strip and it will become selected over in the left-hand side panel. Changing the breakdown is, of course, as easy as just making changes, so let's go ahead and just click, and we're going to add Potter and Uncle Billy to this strip right here, and you can see that reflected over here on the strip itself. But what if I wanted to make changes to a lot of different strips at the same time? So for instance, let's say I had a bunch of strips selected. I'm just going to randomly select some strips here. And I wanted to add a character to each one of those strips. Well, the regular way to do that would be to select each one of the strips, add the character, select the next strip, add the character there, and keep going. But MultiSelect is a feature that allows you to select multiple strips and add characters or any other elements that you need to add to the strip in one click. Selecting multiple strips at the same time, of course, is done via the keyboard. So just by clicking on one strip and then hitting the Command key or the Control key if you're on Windows, and clicking another strip, we'll select the other strip at the same time. Selecting a wide variety of strips can actually be done by using the Shift key. So if I just click on one of the strips here at the top and then hold down the Shift key as I click on the second strip, all of the strips in between those two strips will be selected, as well as the two strips that I clicked initially. And you can tell that the MultiSelect mode is on because the breakdown sheet got this sort of pink highlight to it, and the MultiSelect tag appears in the very top left corner. This helps you differentiate between having selected one strip, where everything is just normal, and having selected multiple strips where the MultiSelect feature is now turned on. So let's go ahead and actually try this out. I'm going to select this strip and the strip that's just beneath it, and let's say I want to add the character of Mary to both of these strips. All I need to do is click Mary, and now you can see character number 2, which is Mary, has been added to both of those strips. And the same thing works in reverse. So if I want to remove Mary from both of those strips, I can just click Mary, and now Mary is not in both of those strips. And this, of course, holds true for any different setting in the breakdown. It's not just characters. It could be any element or anything in the top field area of the breakdown. Now you'll notice that when I selected these two strips, some elements are being shown and some elements are not. For instance, scene number is blank, but bank is showing up here under set. Now why is that? MultiSelect is showing you the settings that are true for all of the strips that are selected. So both of these strips have a set of bank, but have no other breakdown fields in common. They don't share a scene number, their interior-exterior, their day-night, their descriptions, their page counts are all different between the strips that are selected. Now for elements, this gets reflected a little bit differently. George, character number 1, is in the first strip, and Uncle Billy, number 4, is in the second strip, but there are no common cast members between the two. Remember when we added Mary before? Let's go ahead and add her again. Notice that Mary appears darker here in the elements list, and George and Uncle Billy are sort of grayed out. It's true that Mary appears in both strips, so her element appears totally opaque. But George and Uncle Billy are not in both strips. They're each in just one of the strips. So their elements are slightly see-through to give you a visual cue that George and Uncle Billy are not in both of the selected strips. They're just in some of them. To show you how this looks with other strips selected, let's go ahead and select the first strip and the second strip. Now things are somewhat different over here on the breakdown side. Exterior and night are both lit up because both of these scenes have exterior and night. Their sets are different, of course. One is Bedford Falls Street, the other is Bank. But both strips have George and Mary in them, characters number 1 and 2. Let's say that I wanted to change the set to Bailey Front Porch, and now both strips are Bailey Front Porch. And let's say I wanted to give them both a page count of 2 pages. Now they're both 2 pages. And if I wanted to remove all the cast from these strips, let's say, I can just click George and Mary, and now there's no cast in any of the strips that are selected. And MultiSelect doesn't just work for 2 strips. You can select as many strips as you like and make as many changes as you'd like to those strips, and they'll affect everything that is selected. So let's say I want to add the character of Clarence to all of these different strips. I can just click here, select Clarence, and now Clarence, character number 5, appears in all of these different strips that were selected. So anytime you need to make changes to a variety of strips inside ThinkCrew, just remember you can select multiple strips and make those changes all at the same time. That wraps it up for this tutorial. If you have any questions, please hit us up on YouTube or Facebook, and thanks very much for watching.